Alright, kids, here we are once again out in the middle of no fucking where.
Yep.
And this time we decided to take the truck out and see what it'll do. And I got to thinking. I tell a lot of stories about my neighbor. You know, this could be a whole series in itself just with stories about him. But the one at this particular time isn't so much about him as it is about me being with him. And since we're in the middle of nowhere, that made me think of this.
Oh, shit.
One time, we went out, just to go out for a ride and just do basically nothing. And, we went a good ways towards, well, not quite the whole way, but pretty close down by Harrisburg. Like, we're north of Harrisburg, for those who don't know where we're from. But we went down around that direction, and we were on the back roads. It was, must have been in the winter time. Because we drove by this house, and he sees something. Yeah. So he turns around and goes back, because he couldn't believe what he saw. He saw this big wooden cutout of Santa Claus, and he was all bent out of shape about it because he had short sleeves. It's like, I have never in my life seen a short sleeve Santa Claus.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I don't know why this was something that he felt so compelled to turn around and do a double take on it, but yeah. You know, he just couldn't let go of the short sleeve Santa Claus thing. So yeah, that was one part of that trip. Later on in this same trip, we're further down the road and he sees one of those old Ford flat-nose trucks from like back in the 60s.
Yeah.
And he wanted to buy it so badly. But he couldn't tell if it was for sale or just sitting along the road for the junk or what it was. And he's like, I just had to have that. That was one thing we saw along that trip. Later on down the road, we stop at this gas station in the middle of absolutely no fucking where. And he goes in there and buys a big tray of bologna and cheese. Because, you know, food is like second nature to this guy.
Yeah.
Now, none of those things I said were particularly noteworthy. What was noteworthy is something that's only happened to me, I would say, twice thus far in my lifetime. For some reason or other, during all of this, I was in the middle of having an anxiety attack. Which is not fun. I don't know what triggered it. I don't know why it happened that particular moment, because it wasn't like we were anywhere where, you know, we were in any sort of danger. You know, I was with someone I knew. We were somewhere he knew where we were. But no, I was just spazzing out over nothing for some apparent reason. And it happened from about shortly after we got the bologna and cheese to we got home.
Jesus.
So yeah. You would think after that incident I wouldn't really be interested in traveling in the middle of nowhere with no rhyme or reason, but no, here I am today.
Yep.
But yeah. That was a thing that happened. And just an interesting thing to note here. We're actually approaching a place that you might be familiar with if you follow this series.
Yeah.
We're coming back up on Spectacle Gap again, but this time we're on the outside of it, and we're not headed back there this time.
Why not?
Because I don't want another fucking tree going over the road.
Oh.
So, yeah. But we're getting close to it. And, I was thinking about what we were talking about last time with the stuff that we hoped we would do one day, and it got me thinking, well, an interesting subject might be the exact opposite of that, stuff that any sane person would never want to do. And there's a lot of jobs out there that I think I would never, ever, ever want to do.
Yeah.
For instance, one job that a relative of mine does is he empties septic tanks for a living.
Fuck that.
He's been in the business for years and years, and it's been quite a successful thing for him, but I don't think I can handle it. One reason being the obvious reason. It fucking
Shit.
stinks. You're literally dealing with shit. I would not want to deal with shit. Because that would be shitty.
Yeah.
Literally. One thing he has told me, though, is he has actually found things in his line of work.
Oh my god.
Because the way he does his job is he has a big tank truck that he drives around and has a pump on it, and it pumps out people's tanks. And for you city folks out there that don't deal with this problem, you probably have never seen this. But basically, unless you have like a portal in your yard to access the tank, you have to dig it up, at least where the lid is.
Yeah.
And someone's got to open the lid, ram a hose down in there, and empty it out. And whenever you open that lid, it hits you hard.
Yep.
But it doesn't bother him because he's been doing it for so long, I don't even think the man has a sense of smell anymore. But he has told me that in the years he's done that, he has acquired a few things because every so often you gotta empty out the truck.
Yeah.
Now, the proper way to do that is to take it to a proper sewage place and empty it, but since he owns a big farm, he just empties it on the cornfield.
Nice.
Yeah. When he does it, sometimes, and I could not imagine any sane human being doing this, but he says there have been times where he has held a rag over the output on the truck and tried to catch stuff.
May I ask why?
Well, I'm getting to that. He has said in his history pumping out people's septic tanks, he has found everything from Rolex watches to diamond rings. And, you know, even if it's covered in shit, you know, if you wash it off, it's worth something. But yeah, he says he's found all sorts of valuables that way. Everything from like coins, like I said, watches, rings, you name it.
Some pissed off wife flushes their husband's $300 Rolex down the toilet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pissed off husband throws their wedding bands down the toilet. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's taken that shit and cleaned it off and cashed it in already. So yeah, for those of you out there who have flushed your valuables down the shitter, your septic tank guy might be taking it and hawking it somewhere. Yeah, but that is a job I would not want to do.
No.
I especially would not be holding my hand anywhere near that output nozzle to look for valuables.
No.
But he's done it. He has done it. Another job I don't think I'd want to do is I don't think I would want to be the guy that flags traffic during construction work. Now, while that may seem like an easy, simple job to do, there's a couple reasons why I wouldn't want to do that. And the first reason is if you do it in the summertime, it's going to be fucking hot.
Yeah.
And if you're standing there on blacktop all damn day, you're going to be sweating your ass off. Another reason I want to do it is assholes that don't give a shit that you're standing there with a stop sign.
Yeah.
And
Safety.
yeah, you know, I have relatives that have done that job too. And one of the things that I know for a fact has happened is you get some old lady that's in a hurry to get to fucking Rite Aid, and she'll blow right out around you, horn a blaring straight into oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't want to do that job because I would just feel like I would be responsible for a traffic accident at some point. And while that's a decent paying job, I wouldn't want to do it for those simple reasons. And right now we are on Longfellow Road, which is a road that gets kind of treacherous the further into it you go. I don't know how far back we'll travel here because depending on which way you go, there's no way through. I mean, there is a way through, but I won't go into detail about that.
Yep.
But just since we're here, getting slightly off track, I have another relative. This would have been my grandmother's brother. He'd have been my great uncle. His ashes are back here somewhere.
Yeah.
Because whenever he died, that was what he wanted. He wanted his ashes spread in the mountains, and this is where they brought them to spread them. Now, I think he's near the top, down over the side of the mountain. He's not like near the road or anything, but yeah, this is where he's at. And I mean, he wasn't anyone I was particularly close to, because quite frankly, I only saw the man about once a year at family reunions. But I just thought I'd share that since we were here. But getting back to jobs I wouldn't want to do. Another job I wouldn't want to do, since we're on the subject of people who have passed on, I wouldn't want to be a mortician. I mean, people who choose that line of work have got to have some serious balls, because I would not want to handle dead people all day long. I mean, yes, I know when they've just died, they're not like stinky and rotted and stuff like that, but just think about what all being a mortician entails. You have to drain out a person's body fluids and fill them full of formaldehyde or whatever it is they use to preserve bodies nowadays. That would just creep me the fuck out, having to do that. I mean, I don't really like dealing with body fluids on people who aren't dead, let alone people that are. And I guess you gotta think of it as just a situation that's just, part of life, and everybody's gonna die at some point, but come on now. Imagine dealing with someone that was just in a horrific accident and like their arms tore off and their face looks like it went through a wood chipper. And am I seeing things, or do they seriously have a parking lot here now with handicap parking and every stuff?
Yes, they do.
Interesting. Well, right down over there, where it says Anderson Gap Vista, is where my uncle's ashes would be. So I guess I now know what the name of this place is. It's Anderson Gap. But that's where he would be. So yeah, I did not know they turned this into a proper overlook now. So that's very interesting. And there's a sign that says Longfellow Trail, and I think there is actually a foot trail back through there. Maybe someday we'll come back here during the day and venture there.
Well, I gotta take a piss. Short mountain vista.
Short mountain vista. So yeah, it seems they've done some work back here since the last time we were here. So we'll come back here in a little bit. Alright, piss crisis over. And we made it out of nowhere. And the reason we didn't record the rest of the way out of there is because of just how rocky and bumpy that shit was. All you would have seen was shit moving around like this, and that wouldn't be much to watch for, 15 straight minutes. So here we are back out on the paved road. And getting back to our subject before of jobs we wouldn't want. I don't really think I would want to do a lot of things, and one of them for me personally I think would be like the bomb squad.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to get blowed up. I mean, you really got to be dedicated to your line of work to do something like that. And I gotta give, big props to anybody that's in any branch of the military.
Yeah.
That is a very honorable thing to do, but it's not for me.
No. I thought about it once. I had Army recruiter come, and a National Guard recruiter come. And they both told me, sorry kid, you wouldn't be able to do anything. Why? Because of your back. About the only thing you'd be able to do is sit behind a desk.
And, you know, that's just it. I mean, there's some people who can't do that want to do that. And, you know, like I said, for those of you that do, that's a great thing.
Yeah.
But I just could not see myself doing that.
No.
I mean, not that I don't care, you know, not that I necessarily think it's a bad idea, but I just don't think I would make it past day one. Yeah. I mean, my grandpap served in World War II, and I don't remember what his exact rank was right now, but you know, that kind of haunted him for the rest of his days. And my grandmother will tell you that he would, you know, yell stuff in his sleep about the war.
Oh, hell yeah, they always do.
Yeah. I mean, whenever you are actually there, you know, in actual combat, you know, that stays with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, I wouldn't necessarily say it's something I don't want to do as much as I don't think I could do.
Yeah.
But yeah. And another job I wouldn't want to do is to be the janitor pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to have to clean up other people's messes. And I will say, from experience working in retail, I've had to do a little bit of that sort of thing. You know, like when the guy that's supposed to do it's not around.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Because not once, but twice now, I've had to unflood the bathroom.
Nice.
The same reason both times. Someone thought they were being funny and wadded up a bunch of paper towels and shoved them down in the urinal drain.
Ah.
And of course, you know, people being the way that they are, they don't notice or don't care. They use it anyway and it starts to flush, and of course it floods everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, twice now I've had to mop up the bathroom after someone's done that. And another reason I would not want to do that is for a similar incident that happened. One time, the toilet got clogged really bad at the store where I work. To be specific, in the very last stall. And nobody bothered to say anything or do anything. And the toilet overflowed.
Yeah.
There was shit everywhere. All over the toilet, all over the floor, up the side of the wall.
Nice.
Now, as gross as that sounds, there's actually a funny part to this story. There was a woman who worked there. She no longer does. And all I will say about her, she was not well liked at all. Mind you, this happened in the men's room.
Yeah.
They sent her in to investigate. When she came out, the look on her face was priceless. I mean, she looked like she just witnessed the entire Holocaust. Just a look of pure horror and disgust. Like she was literally about to throw up.
Cool.
That was funny as fuck. Considering just how much, on a personal note, I did not like her.
Mm-hmm. Not too many people did.
No. And that's all we'll say about her, you know. Because, in all fairness, she works somewhere else now. And I still see her every now and then, and she has mellowed out a lot since then. But at the time, we did not like her at all.
No.
And I see we've come up on some road construction. It appears they're doing some work to the bridge there. So yeah. I'll point the camera up slightly so we, don't record that person's license plate number. But, yeah, that's another job I wouldn't want to do. Janitor work. Alright, we're moving again. Well, this is fun. I mean, we're literally on the very edge of the bridge. I'm not really sure what they're doing to this bridge. Repaving it, I guess, or something. I don't know. But, yeah. That was interesting. So those are some jobs I sure as hell wouldn't want to do. What about you?
Well, we're going to make a little pit stop here, and then I will come back to that.
Alright, so you heard him. We'll be back. And then we'll see what his least desired jobs would be. And we're back. And as to be expected of me, I got a thing full of meat and cheese when we stopped there at the gas station, since, I just told you guys that story, 20 minutes ago, so I figured, why the hell not? Anyway, my turn's over, now it's your turn.
Alright, one job I would not want. Okay. I would not want a job as a correctional officer.
Yeah, I don't think I'd like that either.
One of my friends, he's been a correctional officer for almost 30 years. It's not that he hates it. It's just some of the shit that he's seen in those almost 30 years, the average person would geek the fuck out.
I can well imagine.
Another job I would not want is the first one that Nate said. Basically, they call him a honey dipper. Go around sucking septic tanks out, porta johns and shit like that. I wouldn't want that either. Another job I would not want. I am deathly afraid of heights.
Yeah, come to think of it, I don't think I'd want to do that either, for that same reason.
I mean, I am deathly afraid of heights. You ask him, I fell through. Goddamn fucking Eli. Oh. Sorry about that. Ask him. Probably about 9 years ago, I would guess, maybe longer, I fell through a roof. And I fractured my wrist, severely bruised my right heel. My right wrist, I'm sorry. I am deathly afraid of heights. Just leave it at that. Let's see. Another one? Another job I would not want to do? I do not. I'm drawing a blank.
Well, sure covered a lot, though.
Have anything else, Nate?
I'm thinking. Not so much a specific job, but more just like any job where you have to be basically alone all night.
Yeah.
Whether it's overnight working in a gas station or you name it, anywhere where you got to be alone at night. And getting back to my neighbor, he used to work the night shift at a gas station every single night. And he'd get people that would try to pump gas and drive off, or they'd come in and try to rob the place, or you name it.
Yeah.
Another job I wouldn't want to do, yet another relative of mine does this, or did this, I guess he's kind of semi-retired now, but is a pharmacist. And the reason I would not want to do that is because of what happened to him years ago. He worked at some pharmacy, I think it was somewhere near Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And some guy came in and tried to rob the place, demanding all sorts of different pills and stuff like that. And you gotta imagine, I mean, I've never had anything like that happen to me personally, but I've known people it's happened to. That would be a horrifying experience, getting held up on your job like that.
Yeah.
Which is why I wouldn't want to be anything like a bank teller or anything like that. I mean, I'm at risk for that even in my job.
Oh, hell yeah.
And, you know, we have procedures for what to do in situations like that. But, you know, I wouldn't want to work in a job where there was something a little more important to be dealt with and be in that position. You know, I don't handle a whole lot of money, you know, at a given time. But like a bank or something, ooh, I wouldn't want to do that.
No. Place that I work, it's an automotive garage. That place has been robbed at gunpoint a couple of times.
Yeah.
Way before my time, before I started working here, but
doesn't mean someone couldn't try it again.
We've had people come in with guns and fucking demanding to see the mechanic that worked on their vehicle last, and they wanted to fucking shoot him. And my boss pulled out a sawed-off double-barrel pump shotgun underneath the fucking counter. Or, no, double-barrel sawed-off shotgun, 12-gauge shotgun with buckshot. And no.
Yeah.
At close range, that would rip you the fuck apart.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to fuck with the guy that has that at his disposal.
No. Sawed-off shotgun with buckshot would fuck you up. Close range.
Another job I wouldn't want to do. And that would be what my mother did for a living for almost 30 years. Maybe more than 30 years. And that's make fiberglass tanks. Now, it's not a difficult job, but it's a very messy job.
Yeah.
Particularly what she did. She was the person that actually sprayed the fiberglass onto the tank mold. And she would come home covered in that shit every night. So much that she had to keep all of her laundry separate from everybody else's.
Yeah.
Like, trust me, you do not want to get that shit on anything other than what you're wearing.
Yeah. If it gets into your skin, you're done. You're in trouble. That shit hurts.
Yeah.
People say a metal splinter hurts. Oh, fuck no. A goddamn fucking fiberglass splinter hurts even 10 times more.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I think, unless anybody else has anything to add. Anybody?
Nope.
I think that's all we got for undream jobs tonight. So I think we're going to go ahead and leave it at that.
Yep.
So we will see you next time wherever we end up with whatever we've got to say.
Like, subscribe, and by all means, watch out for the cops.
Yeah, because there's one right up there.